Right now, there's two massive changes happening on YouTube that I'm calling the perfect creator storm. And based on the data that I'm seeing from thousands of channels within my community, the creators who understand and implement both of these changes the right way are outperforming traditional channels like crazy. And to add to this, YouTube just released a new policy change that's coming into effect on July 15th that had tons of creators super fearful up until yesterday. I made an entire video explaining exactly what this new policy change actually means and what's going to happen, and I have it linked down in the description if you want to watch it after this one. But here's the problem. Most creators don't even know that these changes are happening, or even what they are. And that's exactly what I'm going to break down today, how you can use them to dominate in your niche, even if you're starting from complete zero. So I pulled the analytics to thousands of students within my community, and here's what I discovered. The channels using the old approach were monetizing in such an inefficient way that only allowed them to make a very small amount per video, whereas the channels using the new method that I'm going to show you today were making a lot more per video. They might be saying, Matt, I don't believe you, which I don't blame you. So here's some proof. This guy, his name is David. He signed up for my program, and all credit to David for actually implementing what I showed him. But he's been able to make over 100K a year on a channel from implementing the knowledge that I shared in my programs. But here's the craziest part. His channel wasn't even qualified for the YouTube Partner Program. He only has about 1,900 subscribers. Think about that for a second. He made a channel that YouTube wouldn't even consider to be monetized. And it gets even more insane. David isn't pulling millions of views per video. Instead, he's getting the right views. He's successfully targeted people with actual problems who are willing to pay to solve those problems. Now look, I want to be transparent with you. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. David's results are not typical, and I can't guarantee you the same results. But David's story shows us what's possible when you use YouTube and understand how it works as a business platform. And honestly, the thing I love about David's story is the fact that he's not a marketing expert. He's a regular person who followed the framework that I'm about to give you. And David is not a one-off case. I've helped a bunch of people implement this exact system, and the people I've been able to help the most are the people who understand that YouTube's success doesn't have to be vanity metrics like millions of views. It's building a real business, whether the YouTube algorithm likes you or not. And that brings me into what I like to call the perfect creator storm framework. But before I reveal this framework, I need to warn you about the biggest trap that's destroying YouTube channels right now. See, there's something happening on YouTube that's killing thousands of channels every single day, and nobody's talking about it. Most creators think that they're competing against other creators, but they're not. They're actually competing against something way more dangerous. And if you don't understand this, it's of my belief you won't stand a chance when it comes to YouTube. So what is the biggest competition then, you might be asking? It's AI content. More specifically, low quality AI content, or what's commonly being referred to as AI slop, that's being pumped out every single minute onto YouTube. And the scary part is that the YouTube algorithm can't tell the difference between good AI content and bad spammy AI content. There's a lot of channels that are operating right now. I showed an example of one in my last video of channels that are, in my opinion, doing things the wrong way and in the way that YouTube doesn't want you to be running channels. So in simple words, AI garbage is messing up the YouTube algorithm, which means that people who genuinely try to put value into their videos are getting buried. Now, luckily, YouTube is getting better, but here's the secret that most of my successful students have discovered. Instead of fighting against AI, they learn how to use it strategically in a way that aligns with YouTube's policies to create content that's actually better than what just a single human could do. And that brings me into the perfect creator storm framework. Now you're probably thinking, Matt, everyone's already using AI for YouTube. How is this any different? And here's the thing. Yes, people are using AI for YouTube, but they're doing it completely wrong, and it's destroying their channels. They think they're creating good content, but the reality is that their channels are going to die in no time. Let me show you exactly what I mean. I've been seeing this pattern again and again in my community, where creators start using very basic AI tools to put out videos. They start seeing some initial views, but then their performance starts declining because they fell into what I like to call the AI commodity trap. You see, when you use AI the way that most people do, just generating generic scripts and then throwing stock footage behind it, you and your channel become a commodity. You're creating the same exact content as thousands of other channels. So why would YouTube have any reason at all to promote you over anybody else? But here's what the winning creators have discovered. And it's the secret that allows some of my students to make hundreds of dollars per 1,000 views. Instead of using AI to replace human creativity, they use AI to amplify human strategy. Let me show you exactly how this works. Step one is they use AI to help them write scripts, but not in the way that most people do it. Most people, they use something like ChatGPT to generate a generic script, and then they just have a robot read off the voice, and then they put stock footage on top of it, and they call it a good video. That is not a good video. That's the type of content that YouTube is trying to get away from, as they've talked about in their latest update, so that's not what you want to do. Instead, if you're going to use AI to write scripts 10 times faster than anybody else, you want to use a tool like TubeMagic. Now, in full disclosure, TubeMagic is my own tool, but I built it specifically for this purpose, which is the fact that you can put in multiple different videos for context so that the AI model that we use, which is Claude, which is the best-in-class scriptwriter out there, can use, for example, the top 5 videos in your niche on the topic of video that you're doing as training data. So now your scripts won't just be generic AI content. You're pulling the best information from proven videos and combining it in a way that's better on a single video. Now, of course, make sure to write things in your own way as well. Add any other stories or any value that you have to add to it as well, because you don't just want to be mass producing AI content. No matter what tool you use, you do want to be involved with the content. So even if you were, for example, to have AI help you in your process and in your YouTube system, what you can do is hire a scriptwriter to vet the scripts and then go in and add additional context and additional value as well. And let me just tell you, the channels that are really succeeding long-term, they're doing this. Yes, it's a little bit more work, but trust me, it's worth it because you want to be compliant with YouTube long-term. Step number 2 then is using AI to generate visuals. Now, there's tons of different software out there to help with AI-generated visuals. I built another company, it's called vid.ai, and vid.ai works amazing for certain niches. For example, if you're just doing a stock footage-based channel where the main focus of your video is about what's being talked about in your video, vid.ai is perfect for that. It'll put titles throughout your video. It'll make sure that your videos are actually really good, but it doesn't work for all types of content. And even if you were to use something like vid.ai, my recommendation is to put some of your own custom clips in there as well, and make sure to be involved in the actual video generation process. Now, you don't just have to use my tool. You can also use tools like, for example, CapCut or iMovie or any video editing software out there, and then use AI to help generate some visuals for that using something like Google VO3, which in my opinion is the best in class for generating AI generated visuals. There are cheaper options like Kling AI as well, but the tool you use isn't as important as how you use it. You basically just want to create visuals that correspond to what's going on in the script. Make sure to change things up at least every 3 seconds, give a lot of value in your videos, and you should be good. And step 3, and this is a step that most people don't think about when they're running channels, is to use a good voiceover. My recommendation would be use your own voiceover if you can. And if you're lazy, sometimes like I am, you can clone your voice using something like 11 Labs. It took about 30 minutes of training data for me to clone my voice, and I basically have an indistinguishable clone of my voice. And it's different than all the other channels out there because it's my own voice. You can also generate voices from complete scratch just from a prompt with 11 Labs. But even with all of this, there's still one massive problem that will kill your channel if you don't solve it. And that problem leads me to part 2 of this framework. You see, you can create the most perfect content using AI tools, and heck, you can even compete with some of the biggest channels within your niche. But there's a major caveat with that, which is that you don't have any brand whatsoever if you do things the way that most faceless channels do them. Let me show you why. This channel right here gets hundreds of thousands of views per month using AI, but they make almost nothing per view because they have no brand, no character. There's no reason for people to choose them over 50 other channels doing the exact same thing. But this channel right here, which is also using AI, makes way more per 1,000 views because they created something that the AI content farms can never replicate. They created a branded character that people trust and follow. And here's the specific strategy that's working right now. Instead of just being another generic faceless channel, you create what I like to call a branded AI authority. And this is a character that becomes a trusted expert within your niche. Let me show you exactly how this works. This right here is Keita LaShawn, which is the AI character that this creator made for their channel. She has a backstory, a personality, a consistent visual appearance, and most importantly, she provides value in a way that feels personal and trustworthy. Here's the genius part. People don't just subscribe to channels anymore. They subscribe to characters they trust. And when you combine AI efficiency with character-based branding, you create something that can really compete with a lot of channels on YouTube in a much better way. But here's what most people get wrong when they try to create these AI-based characters. characters. And this mistake costs them everything. You see, most people think that creating an AI character just involves getting a character and a voice. But that's not character development, that's just decoration. Real character development means creating a persona that your audience can connect with emotionally. And that's what my successful students are doing right now. How are they doing that? Let me break down the entire process for you step by step. First, they create a detailed character backstory, not just a name and appearance, but a complete history, expertise area, personality traits, and even flaws that make that character relatable. Secondly, they develop a consistent voice and perspective. The character doesn't just narrate the content. They have opinions, experiences, and a unique way of explaining things. And thirdly, and this is really the secret sauce to this, they create what I like to call character authority moments in every video. These are specific segments where the character shares personal insights or experiences that only they could share. But now you're probably saying, Matt, that all sounds incredible. I'm sure that will do, absolutely great on YouTube. But how do I actually implement all of this? Where do I even start? Well, here's exactly what you need to do. I'm going to give you the entire roadmap right now. Week number 1 is your character development and niche selection. You're going to use the framework that I'm providing you to create your character and validate your niche using actual data, not just guesswork. Week 2 is an AI workflow setup. You'll systematize making videos so it's a lot easier for you. So you're not just starting over with every video that you do. You'll have a system to write scripts, do voiceovers, generate visuals, and do editing for your videos, and then make amazing thumbnails that people just want to click on. And you're using all the AI tools I give you strategically, not just randomly. Week 3 then is content creation and actually launching your channel. You'll create your first series of videos that introduce your character and establish their authority in your niche. Week 4 is optimizing then and scaling. You'll analyze your initial results and optimize your system for maximizing monetization early on in your channel so you're not waiting to get monetized like most people do. And maximizing your views in a way where you're not just maximizing for vanity metrics, in a way that you can actually monetize those views. But here's the thing, and this is really important. While I can give you this overview, the actual implementation of each of these steps requires specific templates, scripts, and step-by-step processes that I simply can't cover all in one video. And here's why timing matters right now. We are in what I like to call the golden window for this opportunity on YouTube. AI tools have advanced enough to create really good content, but most creators haven't figured out how to actually use them strategically with character development. This window, in my personal opinion, is only going to be open for the next few months before everybody in the world catches on to this. So the creators who implement this new way of doing faceless channels that monetize first without ever even being monetized, that have a really good character, that are within an amazing niche, are the ones that are going to have the first mover advantage. And if you don't act on this information, well, let me show you what happens to channels when they take too long to adapt. I'm watching established channels with hundreds of thousands of subscribers lose 80 to 90% of their views because they waited too long. Channels that were getting 500,000 views a video are now struggling to get 10,000 views a video because newer channels using these strategies are now dominating those niches. This isn't just one isolated example either. I'm personally seeing it happen across dozens of niches right now. Established channels with hundreds of thousands of subscribers are being overtaken by brand new channels that understand these two changes. Do not let this be you. Do not be the creator who looks back on this in 6 months and wishes they would have done something when they had the chance. And the really good news about this is that YouTube is pushing out new channels right now, and you don't necessarily need millions of views right now to potentially build a real business with YouTube. And if you want my complete step-by-step instructions for doing this, the templates, the AI workflow setups, how to set up your channel to monetize first without being monetized, and get access to my personal content team that you can have make videos for you using this new way of actually having characters be the face of your channels, plus get access to some of the people who actually run my channels and access to me to ask any questions that you have along the way. I've put together all of this within Tube Accelerator. Now you can feel free to click the first link down in the description to book a call with my team and see if this program is a good fit for you. And no, this is not just a course where you watch the videos and then just hope for the best. This is a complete implementation system, if you want to call it that, where you basically get access to me, my team. People are going to help you along the way. You get even calls with my team whenever you need them. And you get access to me, ask me a question, I can shoot you a Loom video back, looking at your channel, making sure you're doing things the right way. Plus you get access to my content team. It's the best thing that I personally have ever offered in my personal opinion. And yes, this was a lot of work to put this together, but my benefit from it, I get to work with people who are actually also running channels themselves, who are serious about doing this, instead of just someone who buys a course and does nothing with it. And due to the fact that you stayed to the end of this video, you're probably pretty serious about this. If you want to work with me, feel free to click that link below, book your call with my team. And honestly, I can't wait to meet you. Can't wait to see you inside of Tube Accelerator if you do choose to join. If not, I hope you can still walk away from this video with a ton of value. And if you still need some more information about this specific system for doing YouTube on monetizing first and building a real business with YouTube and Faceless channels the right way for sure, then you can check out this video next to me right here, which goes over all of that. It'll break that all down, give you more information about everything. And it's basically kind of like a free course on YouTube, not as in-depth as Tube Accelerator, but it will show you more so of what's included within Tube Accelerator. So my name is Matt Parr. Hope you got a ton of value from this video regardless, and I'll see you in the next one.